Hello everybody. Well, today I decided to do my tag for hashtag 52 tags handmade. And I think it's called, I always forget to write these things down. I want to say it's called the spider wheel or something like that. So basically, I will link, as always, Anne's video in my comment section below. I'm going to take Anne's advice. I traced my tag on this piece of fabric because when I do my stitching, I'm going to put it in my embroidery hoop. I think it will be easier for me to manage that way. My tag is so small, it's quite difficult to do something like this, I think, on just a loose piece of fabric. And I don't think it really matters how big your tag is. It would, probably be beneficial to use a hoop on this. So I've traced my tag so I sort of know my parameters. I've grabbed this to use this circle here. I'm not going to try anything too elaborate, but I know I want to try to fit 3 of these on my tag. So I'm trying to line this up as close to this edge and the bottom as possible, so maybe I can get 2 small ones up here. So I'm not reinventing the wheel. I chose to use an ink pen because my fabric pencil, or whatever you want to refer to it as, just is not working on here. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So there's my first one. Then I want to try to fit at least 2 more of these. I think I'll put this one here, maybe. It's going to leave that space. Yeah, I'll do this one here. I've had out so many different fabrics and threads trying to decide what I wanted to do. And I really wanted to use the Perle thread because it's thicker. Although I do have some just regular DMC floss that's variegated. I just don't really have any to match the fabrics I've wanted to use. So I thought, well, maybe I'll stick with the Perle fabrics that are the threads that I had. I just haven't wound them on the little cardboard things yet. That's something else I need to do. Another project. So those are my circles. My tag, I get rid of these pins. And then, oh wait, I'm going to need that pin again. Not so quick, Sheila. So, I made a note. On the woven, you need an odd number. And on the wrapped, you need an even number. And I think this one here, I am going to do the wrapped. And I don't think I'm going to get too technical. I'm just going to sort of go for this. So for this one, I need an even number. And I'm trying to get this as equal as possible. Let's see if I do that. Is that going to be... Huh. How did Anne do that? Now this would need to come down here. And I need even, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4. Five, 6. That's good enough for me. And on these 2 small ones, I'll do the woven, and I need an odd number. That's going to be difficult for me to come up with an odd number, because your first inclination, I think, is to let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Huh. This is going to be sort of, let me make this one go out a little bit more. And then 5. Mine's going to be sort of wacky. So odd. Odd makes it sort of difficult for me. Let's see. That would go 1. Right. 2. 3. 4. 5. All right. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 5 and 6. Okay. So then the next step was to take a piece of thread and, well, get this in my hoop. And this fabric, it's a cotton, but it's a little bit thicker. I mean, it's not as heavy as like upholstery fabric or anything like that, but it was the heaviest of the fabric choices, you know, as far as the materials that I wanted to use. So I'm hoping this fabric will work. Alright, so I am going to start down here and just come up in the center. And do the spokes. Oh, I didn't mean to go all the way across there. Oh well. I did it, so I'm going to stick with it. Did not mean to do that. You know what? I shouldn't do that. I should not do that. Should not do that, Sheila. I think I'm going to need this. As big as this eye is, I'm still having problems getting this thread through the eye of the needle. Back to the center. And then what would you do? Oh no. I just keep going back and forth. I'm hoping all of my stitches will cover my ink. Didn't really think that one out too well. Probably could have extended maybe the spokes beyond the circle. Whoops. Sorry about that. Alright. And so for this one, we are doing the wrapped stitch, I guess it's called. Or wrapping the spider. I don't know. We're wrapping. I'm trying to come up the center. There we go. My thread's really long because I didn't want it to run out. So then you decide where you're coming up or starting, and you go under 2. Oops. And up. Whoops. Hitting everything. Sort of pull it up. Then wherever you come up, you go back 1 and under 2. Oh, this thread looks much more complicated than what it actually is. Once again, back 1, under 2. And we're supposed to push it up towards the center. Back 1, under 2. Push it up. Back 1, under 2. Wait, am I getting my threads? Don't want to get my threads twisted here. Back 1, under 2. Back 1, under 2. And this is all I'm going to do all the way around. Wherever I come up, I go back 1 and then go under 2. And as Anne showed, the thread is actually wrapping around the thread spokes that we've put on there. Back 1, under 2. Sorry, I know that has to be annoying, but I have to repeat it to myself. Back 1, under 2. And you just keep going. Like she said, if you want to change threads, you could. I don't think I got my center really as tight as I would like it, but I think I'm okay with it. So I won't make you watch me continue this. I'm going to continue the same thing all the way around, and then I'll come back when I start the next one. Okay, I am back, but I must tell you, that took some time. I never dreamed it would take that long to do that. But I got that done. It's almost out to where my ink is. I may stitch around it. I don't know. I'm going to wait until I'm done and then see what it looks like, if the ink is too overbearing or not. So these next two are odd numbered, and they are just woven. Oh yeah, I had to stop and think. Oh, how did she do that? So I already stitched my pinwheels on, or whatever you want to refer to them as. I guess once again we come up through the middle. And then on this one, we go under, over, under, over, under. And she said it would be a little bit tricky getting this started. Over, under. Yeah, over, under, over, under. Over, under, over, under. And this one worked out exactly how she said, because when I was first going around several times, I was like, I am not seeing the pattern at all. But then as I kept going, I was probably down to here when I could actually start seeing the pattern develop. So that was pretty exciting to see that happening. This one's just over, under, all the way around. I think the hardest thing about this is, for me anyway, keeping my thread untangled. Hopefully I'm doing this right. I think I am. I thought I would do one of these with you and then come back, turn the camera off, and do the other one. I'm just going to do the other one in a variegated gold and yellow. I think, at least that's the plan at this point. Like I said, I'm not doing anything too outside of the box. I was thinking about this earlier because I was like, I never get too courageous with these, or creative, or whatever the word it may be. Because so much of this is new to me. So, with that being said, I was thinking about it and I thought, this is sort of, these tags are sort of a catalog for us. So, in the future, as we try to do something, slow stitch wise, we have these to reflect on and maybe incorporate these stitches and techniques into other pieces of work. So I thought, because I was sort of down on myself thinking, I should do something outside of the box. But with this being so new to me, I'm scared to do that. And I thought, well, if I do this the way Anne taught us to, then I could look back through when I go to do something and have a reference and perhaps be able to get more creative with that at that point. At least that's the way I intend to use them. Besides look at them, I think it's really pretty when you go through and you look back, because I have a tendency, and I think all of us really do, of being critical of our own work. You look at what other people have done and you're like, oh, mine is so plain and so, oh, if I would have only done this. But when you look at it individually, then I think it brings you some joy, some satisfaction that you did it and you have a stepping stone to work off of. I hope that Anne has a project for us next year too. I'm really enjoying doing these, and I find that when I am working on these stitching projects that it's quite peaceful. It brings peace to you, sort of slows you down a little bit, makes you forget about if you had a bad day or if you had a good day. You can just reflect. So for that, I am thankful. And it's very inspiring because it does give you ideas of other ways you could use these stitches. This one's a little bit, well, I think they're both easy. This one just seems a little bit more manageable for me. I just want to sort of keep my threads. There you go. I'm glad that you can see that white and the gray. The white from the pinwheel. It sort of breaks that up some. I'm just doing one stitch at a time at this point. I'm getting closer, and you can see my circle is wider here than what it is there. So I don't know what I'm going to do about that. But I'm not going to stress about it. I do know that. Pretty fun. Pretty exciting to see like the pattern develop. Trying to keep my threads I think that's why it's easier for me to do one at a time. Come on. I say that and then I struggle getting my needle through. I think we can sort of stretch. That's what I did with the last one. I sort of went back and pulled on my threads a little bit to try to get them out closer to that pin mark. You can see I'm getting closer to the edge on this side. I'm trying Maybe I should have got the old roller out, you know, and got my center more accurate. I think when it's all said and done, this material, it's going to be hard to see the marks. But I'll just see once I'm done stitching how much the ink is bothering me or be seen to determine if I do anything on the edges there. Trying to even it out some. Sorry if you can hear the TV in the other room. I don't know what my husband's watching, but it has loud music. Oh, did I do that wrong? I think I missed some stitches or something. Over, under, over, under. No, I think it's because over, under. Well, maybe they all do go. Huh, I don't know. I might have messed up on mine. Not sure, but I might have. Because you can see the pattern sort of changed. Maybe it's supposed to do that. That's under. That'd be over, under. Over, under. Over, under. Over, under. I'm going to end this one there. Whoop, don't want to pull that too tight. And I'm just going to go down. Up! I say I'm not going to pull it too tight, and then when I pull through, that's a little bit tricky on the end there. I just wonder if I did something wrong there because it sort of took on a different pattern. So I'm going to do the same thing here, and I'll be back to show you the end result. Okay, I am back. I have finished. These were much quicker to do than this, but I want you to see if you can see the white thread that I used, or ecru thread that I used underneath. I must have wrapped this differently than what I did this, because you'll see the ecru thread, which I'm satisfied with. I think I did it wrong, but I love that it's different. And this thread here is variegated. You can see it really well in person. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up. I have a couple bumps here along my weaving, and I think it's where as you go through with this thread, sometimes it would get up on the last one, and if I didn't catch it, it would leave rather almost like a double wrap, if you will. But nonetheless, I'm very satisfied with that. It was a lot of fun, and I learned a lot. You could actually play with that, which is very exciting to find out. So I guess it doesn't actually have to all be over, under, over, under. You can change it up to get different designs with the thread underneath. So anyway, there's my tag, and I think that is week, I always have to look because I can't remember, week 28. So I will be back tomorrow. I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening, and happy crafting, everyone. Bye-bye.